Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is Tim Odell with Odell Complete Landscape. In the first part of this series, we were focusing on the patio cover install. On the second part, we focused on installing the concrete slab. And the third part, we also did the patio cover. Now, for this part, we're going to be mainly focusing on the tile install. And if you haven't seen the other parts to the series, I highly advise go check them out before watching this video so you guys are up to date with what is going on. So, let's get right into it. Got a grinder so we can grind down the concrete because we got a hump in the middle right about here. We got a nice long straight edge to show us where the humps are, and we're going to mark out the areas where we need to grind down. There's our really big straight edge. This will work even better. Okay, now guys, look how bad this is over here. When he's holding it flat on that end.
What does that look like, a half an inch?
Let me break out my tape measure just to be safe. So he's holding it flat on that end. And we got a big gnarly bump. Yeah, we got about ½ inch.
Whoa, man, that's...
And like, how crucial is that?
It's really crucial. Your tile obviously won't bend, so it's a cracked tile for sure. You know, I mean, this tile has to be completely flat. Let's get this flat.
All right, let's do it.
Alright, so what we're doing is we're checking for flatness. So we have the straight edge right here, and as you can see, it's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah. Everywhere's pretty flat. So that's like a 16th of an inch.
See that? That's like the only spot that maybe not totally flat.
Which is like 16th of an inch, huh? Which is nothing. That's good.
Alright, so when we did put the straight edge long ways, we started noticing there were some humps, and it's pretty bad. Probably like a ½ inch to an inch of some areas that we need to grind down. It's mainly in the middle area. You can see the gap right there. Especially if you were to step on it. It really is a big gap on the other end. So these are areas that we're most likely going to have to grind down so that everything's more level to place all the tile in. Here's actually the tile and how it looks.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's really pretty. So grinding this patio down took a lot longer than expected, just because it wasn't as flat as we initially thought it was going to be. And we also only had a pretty small grinder, but I wasn't trying to rent one from Home Depot. And it's really important that you get your patio as flat as possible because tile just doesn't bend. And it will crack if your tile or your base is not as flat as it could be. So make sure you take the time on your tile project with a nice straight edge to make sure you can see where all the humps and bumps are and really get your surface as flat as possible. Alright, patio has been completely grinded down. Everything's super flat. If not, everything's 1/16 of an inch off now. Where you're snapping your chalk lines, the width of the tile, all the way down so that we can line up these tiles perfectly straight. So we're gonna mark a couple more chalk lines, get our lines all set up, and start rolling. Alright. So I'm going to go over a basic idea on tile layouts and making sure that when you start to lay tile, it is very important that you have a perfect layout for your tiles. First thing you want to know is your area square or is it not? You need to find a square area and go off of that. Also, you need to know how big your tile is, the width and length. Next, what you want to do is, well, what we figured is, since we're going against the house all along here, the stucco is not perfectly straight. So we don't really want to start against the house because it's not straight. What is straight though is this edge of the concrete. It's pretty square. We used our big blue. You can see Omar working right now to get the layout set up. but let me show you real quick. So we're using really long straight edges. We got a very long level to help us get everything nice and straight, and then also we got a big blue square right here. What we did was we put that big blue square on the edge of this concrete. Made sure it was square. If it wasn't, we'd have to most likely snap a chalk line all the way down. But it was straight, so we're good there. So what we did was we put one tile right here, and the widths were about 15 3/4. So 15 3/4, we marked the next spot. 15 3/4, we marked the next spot. 15 3/4, we marked the next spot, all the way until we got to this point right here. This is the final layout. Of course, the area you're going to be placing tile is never going to be dead on. There's always going to be cuts. And we decided to make our cuts right here against the house because, like I said, the stucco isn't perfect and it would be impossible to get a straight edge on this house. So I hope this video helps you guys understand tile layouts and what to look for when you are starting your tile layout.
Yeah.
If your prep work isn't good, believe me, your final product is not going to be good. All right. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. All right, so what we did right here was we were trying to make the whole patio square. And we want to, as we move this way, we went full pieces all the way till we get to pretty much this corner, because this patio was about 1.5 inches out of square. So we are making our own square right now. We want all the nice full pieces along this side, and we want to keep it going this way until we get to about this corner where it's 1.5 inches off. So what we did right here was we measured out from the corner of the slab 47 1/4. That's the size of these tiles. Marked our chalk line. Then what we did was we put a square on here. This was just our initial line to see where everything was and how it was looking. But once we put our square on it, you can see it slightly goes off.
So we wanted full pieces along all the perimeter, the side of the patio and also the front of the patio. So we ended up also marking a chalk line in front or the end of the patio and start from the front area and then work our way back. So we're just measuring out the tile, or the size of the tile for the patio, which was 15 3/4, and then we're also gonna just square that out and start over in that area.
It is the second day on the tile. We've gotten pretty far so far. I didn't give you guys an update this morning, so I'm giving you guys a late afternoon update and where we're at so far. So you can see right there, this tile is pretty large. So we haven't been able to use our little tile saw since the tiles just don't fit on it. So we've been making our own little tile cutting station with a grinder. Not the best way to cut tile, but it's the only way we got right now. But it's still working. Yeah, it's definitely not the safest either because we got a 7-inch blade on a 4-inch grinder. But gotta get the job done.
Come with me and you'll be in a world of OSHA violation.
So let me let me show you real quick what we've gotten done today and how far we've gotten. We've gotten pretty far. It's just we're starting the cuts now, so the cuts are taking a lot more time to get down and get perfect. See, Omar's about to set the next piece. But it's coming out nice. Once the grout gets in here, it's going to be even better. Hopefully we finish up the tile by tomorrow.
Going your way, Omar.
So now that we've made it all the way up against the end of the wall, we're going to start making cuts on all of the tile pieces, because we wanted to have all the cut pieces at the end against the wall, kind of hidden in the corner area. That was the whole plan and setup when we did the whole tile layout. And then here's our little tile station where we're cutting everything. Also, every time we lay a piece of tile down, we make sure to put the spacers in, which is a 1/4 inch gap, one at each top and bottom of the tile pieces. And we also run our hands across the top of the tile piece to make sure that they're completely flushed out with one another and that there's no little lip sticking up. You can also see Omar's applying a little extra mortar on all these tile pieces, just because it seemed like they kept sinking every time we were using our 1/2 inch notch trowel. Actually, I believe it was a 1/4 inch notch trowel.
Way up.
Come on, you push it in more. I'm good over here.
5 3/4, 7/8. Probably 5 7/8, huh?
Yes, sir. These wax pencils are probably good for pavers too.
Yeah.
I think they're perfect for tile though. You know?
Yeah, honestly.
That was completely on accident. Did it work? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This will be our last cut, and then we'll take lunch.
That's good.
I'm gonna check it to make sure.
Dang, that's a clean one. We are on what day are we on, Sam?
This is day 13.
Okay, we're on day 13 of this project. Today what we're going to be trying to get accomplished is moving all the DG in, moving the rest of the artificial turf base in. We gotta get the putting green prepped out, artificial turf, DG in place, drains to the right height, and also we're gonna be grouting the tile today. We finished up the tile yesterday, and it's gonna be looking really good by the end of the day. So let's take a look in the backyard and what we're doing right now. Oh, check out the DG too. Get close up, get a nice close up on all this DG. It's a little dark right now because it's a little wet, but it's really nice. Look at that, it molds to your hand perfectly. When you crush it a little bit in your hand, it feels really soft. It's gonna be perfect for kids to play on. And this is actually our base. Let's get close up on this. This is the base we like to use for our artificial turf. You can see it's like 1/8 minus crushed concrete aggregate. There's a little bit of a fine cement dust within this base, so that's why we like using this stuff right here. It gets really nice, compacted and hard. All right, so you can see back here it's pretty messy, pretty dirty right now. We got a lot of cleaning up to do. Base has got to get compacted, graded to the right height, make sure everything's sloping out to the house, to the front of the house, and towards our drains that we installed. So we got a drain. We have a whole drainage system around this whole perimeter of the patio. So if any water goes this way, eventually it's going to soak down and just drain right in here. As you saw earlier, we put weed fabric, or not weed fabric, but a sleeve around the drains to make sure that no dirt gets in the drains so they never get clogged. No roots will get in there as well. But there's no plants back here, so you don't really need to worry about that. You see Omar right now, he's using a razor knife to clean all the grout in between the joints, making sure the tile's perfect for grout. We actually have a pressure washer here too, so we'll really be like cleaning everything today. Here is the DG side. We just need to cut these to height. Plus, we need to put a pressure treated. Freaking rocks! My kneecap. That base hurts. So we need to put a pressure treated wood right across here in front of this area to divide the DG from the artificial turf. We gotta cut down these drains to height. Probably put some atrium drains right here so that none of the DG flows into it. See, they're all high. We put weed fabric down as well. Weed fabric's in the whole backyard. Everything's covered. And we've already brought a couple scoops of DG in. It's probably gonna fill up pretty quick. But yeah, here it is. As you see, we've attached all the downspouts, drop gutters, so that everything goes right into the underground drains. So everything's looking good so far. We're gonna get it on and get to work. Here is the mortar mix that we used. It's upside down because he opened the bag upside down. This is the grout that we used to grout all the joints. I believe they were 1/8 inch joints for all the tile. It's already preset grout, pre-mixed. All you gotta do is pop it open and you're ready to go.
Now when it comes to grouting all of your tile, you're going to need a grout float. And once you start to get your grout all mixed up, if you don't already have a pre-mixed grout bag like we did, you're going to want it at a consistency of about creamy peanut butter. Now once you have that ready, use your grout float, grab the grout, and you're going to want to keep your grout float at about a 45-degree angle when pushing it into the joints so you can really smear it down deep into the joints of the tile. And also, as you are grouting all of your tile, try to grab as much excess grout as you can off of the tile so there's less cleanup at the end with your grout float. Any mess you do make though, just come back with a lightly damp sponge and start to clean up all the excess. Make sure to get all the haze off the tile so you have a really nice clean finish. So you can see we have one guy grouting all the joints and one guy sponging. We actually have two guys grouting while one guy is sponging everything. And at the very end, once you do have everything grouted and sponged off, just do one more final pass of a cleanup pass. Is just wipe the tile surface down with like a microfiber cloth or a towel, anything like that, just to give it that extra cleaner finish look.
Alright guys, end of the day, we got all the base in the front moved to the back, all the DJs moved to the back, tile is grouted. We did run a little short on base, so tomorrow I'm probably going to be picking up more base. Here's the tile. Let me take you on a little close-up on how this looks. A little dirty, but overall it's looking really nice.
So that's going to pretty much wrap up this section of the series. I hope you guys enjoyed this part in the series. If so, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we do upload a new video. I really appreciate all the support. And before I go, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone, and I hope you all had a great day with your families today.